Hello everybody, welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends. We are back tonight with a really beautiful recipe for eggnog, chai spiced eggnog. Now, yes, you can make this a tipsy nog. The recipe is right in the description, including the alterations to make it a tipsy nog. So meanwhile, what are we gonna need? 2 cups of whole milk, 1 cup of cream. If you're not gonna use the egg whites in this, and I'm not going to tonight, go ahead and whip up half a cup of whole cream to stiff peaks. You're also going to need 5 large eggs separated, 1/4 cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of chai spice, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of rum extract, and let's get cooking. So what are we gonna be doing first? First of all, we're going to need to separate our eggs. And what I have here is 1 large egg. I've already separated 4 more, and I'm gonna teach you how to do this. So of course, you know, separating eggs, not everybody knows how to do this yet. Go ahead and crack your egg open. These are farm fresh eggs. Oh, so yummy. And they're a little harder to open than your normal store-bought. So be a little ginger about that if you're using farm fresh. And you're gonna do this over a separate bowl every time. Go ahead, when you crack it open, be really careful. Put the yolk in one side of the shell, and you're gonna pour that yolk with the shells kind of a little bit sideways, but not quite. Pour that yolk into the other shell and kind of drag the rest of the white out. Pour it back, and you are done. We have gotten rid of as much of this white as we're going to, and just go ahead and plop that yolk on in there. You're done. Now go ahead and put your whites aside. You can use this in your lemon meringue pies later. So good. Yum. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. What we have next, my darlings, is we are going to prep those egg yolks. We're going to beat them until they are a lighter yellow. With farm fresh eggs, they're going to be kind of a dark yellow, almost orange, and so beautiful. But we need to get these to a lighter shade of yellow, or a really sunny yellow, because when you beat your eggs like that, the protein structures change. And that's how we're gonna get that really nice, thick eggnog. So that's 5 large eggs, and we're going to now that the color has actually lightened quite a bit, we're gonna go ahead and put this aside. Now that these have thickened a little bit and the color has changed, it is much lighter than it was. The next thing we're going to do, add our 1/4 cup of sugar and our half a teaspoon of chai spice. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and just mix those real quick. Normally, right after this, I will whip my extra half a cup of cream, but I've already gotten that done for you guys. Now this is just stiff peaks. You don't want it butter, but you want it pretty close. And that's gonna really help give you that more frothy, foamy kind of texture in your eggnog. And you need a saucepan. We're gonna put that aside. We're going to need half a cup of whipping cream and 2 cups of whole milk. And we are going to heat this up on at medium high until it just barely starts steaming. And then we're going to show you how to temper eggs. You just go ahead and stir our cream and whole milk mixture a little bit, and keep a real weather eye on it, because we're gonna need to bring out about a cup of this once it just barely starts steaming. When that happens, we turn off the heat, temper our eggs with that, and then pour the whole thing right back in this pan. Bring it up to 165 degrees. Now, an instant read thermometer is gonna be your best friend for this, because you can keep on stirring and have this thing reading the whole time. We're about 95 degrees. We should see something happening a little over 100 degrees, probably 112 or so. Whoa, I saw a wisp. I saw a wisp. Time to take that off heat. I'm going to get 1 cup out of here into something that I can pour left-handed, because I'm a righty. And we're going to slowly pour some of this. Start stirring your egg mixture and very gradually start pouring in your hot milk mixture. You're gonna have to stop and stir occasionally because otherwise it's just not gonna work too well. Don't throw all of it in at once or else you're gonna scramble your eggs. You can put a little bit in to start with, then a little bit more, then a lot more, and that will work just fine. So basically what we're doing is we're bringing up the temperature of the eggs gradually in a way where they do not actually curdle. There we go. I am definitely making a mess tonight. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be bringing that milk and cream mixture back over, and we're going to add this to that milk and cream mixture. Turn your heat back on to low, stir in your egg mixture. You do not have to pour terribly slowly now because you've already tempered your eggs in a way where they're not gonna curdle when they hit that warm pan of goodness there. Give that a good size stir. And you're going to bring back out your instant read thermometer because you need to keep an eye on this to make sure it does not go above 165 degrees. You're going to be stirring this constantly and watching your thermometer. You definitely want to make sure this doesn't go above 165, but you're also going to want to make sure your mixture thickens. That's why we put all those eggs in. Now, this particular recipe, you're going, wait. Now, 5 eggs is an awful lot of eggs, isn't it? Not really. So when I was looking for a recipe and testing out recipes, I wanted one without a really horribly eggy taste to it, but also had that rich creaminess. And those eggs do exactly that. Those eggs give you such a rich creaminess to your eggnog. And that, my friends, is what it's all about. So we are about 150 degrees now. We're still stirring constantly. Another thing to note, this is probably going to take the longest time right here, is getting it up to temp, because when you're stirring it like this, it loses temperature. And one of the reasons why you stir something constantly is, first of all, to keep it from sticking on the bottom. Secondly, to make sure it heats gradually. And that's going to give the protein bonds in those eggs just a really great chance to thicken up this eggnog slowly and to make it that just beautifully rich texture. And we are at 165. Go ahead and give this another few stirs. This is looking so beautiful. I don't know if you can see this, but this is great stuff. Oh my word. I love that texture going on there. It's nice and thick, it's rich, it's creamy. And now I'm gonna let that rest for a minute off heat. And I'm gonna address my whipped cream here. What I have here is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of rum extract. I'm gonna put it right in my whipped cream because I want these to incorporate their flavors into things without evaporating off right away. And both of those tend to do that. Now, there's a good reason why we whipped our cream to stiff peaks, is because you want to be able to have some of that foaminess being added straight to your eggnog. And there we are. I'm going to stir this in slowly. There we are. Stir in your whipped cream. Now we're doing this instead of using egg whites. I've noticed if you use whipped egg whites like you do for meringue, I find that the eggnog gets much too eggy for my tastes. So I prefer the cream to the egg whites. Would you look at that? Oh my word. Talk about rich and creamy. Oh, would you looky there? Oh, yum. Now you can absolutely serve this warm. You can serve this cold. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring over a batch that I made earlier. Oh, look at that pour. So thick, so creamy. I love it. Now, go ahead and look into the recipe if you want to make this a tipsy nog. You'll use either rum or bourbon or both. Cheers, my darlings. The flavors of the rum come out and also the chai spice, but you can't really put your finger on what is that. It's definitely an eggnog, and it's definitely just gorgeous. You can go ahead and add a little extra frothiness to it if you like. Go ahead and use your milk frother on some of it to get a really foamy top. Yum. And it's not so sweet that it's knocking you over either. You can have an entire glass without making your teeth hurt. So from our house to yours, that's a gorgeous eggnog recipe for your Christmas dinner. So you guys keep things tasty, and we will see you next week.